Yesterday we went through number 12. So you were setting up these other equations. Oh, yikes. Guys, so these other ones you should be able to work through. So these are all these all look super similar to me. I think one thing that is important if you're looking at labels, like if you want to say you knew miles per hour, but you wanted to find out hours, could you write it as 1 hour for that many miles? You can write a ratio either way, right? Because then if you multiply it by the miles, your miles would be canceled out and you would be figuring out what an hour was. So if you know what you want to find out, you can flip your ratio or your fraction to multiply by something that cancels out what you don't want, right? So if anything is like, I don't know, let me grab an example. If it were square feet per hour, and we were trying to figure out, all right, so if we had square feet per hour, and we wanted to figure out cost per hour, if we do a cost per square foot, you can make your fractions cancel each other out. So if we knew, for instance, feet per hour, and we knew cost per foot, if we multiplied these two things, remember how we would cancel out across the diagonal? Our feet would be canceled out and we'd end up with cost per hour. So just something to be thinking about as you set up your fractions. Just a review from yesterday, we looked at 1/6, right? We looked way back here. You're going to be asked to set up a problem like this, right? We multiplied across the diagonals and set them equal here, right? And then we divided by the coefficient on both sides. So you should know how to follow that pattern. That's what we did over and over and over and over yesterday. We also talked about how we would set things equal to each other. If we didn't know how many girls, we would put in place of that number, we would put an X, and then we would multiply across, set them equal, and solve. So that is pretty much what we did. So if we look at number 13, did you guys try it? This was the one you were supposed to try, so hopefully you did. 5 girls in the drama club for every 4 boys. Well, that looks like a ratio to me. So I'm going to write 5 girls for every 4 boys. We're going to set it equal to another ratio because we know we want to find something out. It says, suppose there are 24 boys. Well, I'm going to keep the boys on the bottom in order to keep it proportional. So write a proportion that could be used to predict the number of girls in the drama club. So we want to know the number of girls. So we're going to call this X. So use X to represent the number of girls. So we would write that proportion by multiplying across here. 5 times 24 is 120. We're setting that equal to when we multiply across here. Let's see if you guys remember. How do I write 4 times X? 4. Yes. What do I do next? Divide by 4. So we have 30, right? 120 divided by 4 is 30, equals 1x. 1x is just x. That's what we wanted. So there are 30 girls in the drama club. Okay, you want to do one more?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So if Jessie can type 140 words every 4 minutes, if it's proportional, we can figure out how long it would take her to write 700 words. Since we know the word part of it, we're putting that across from the other word part. We don't know the minutes. So we're calling that X, number of minutes. But we're still going to do the same thing. We're going to multiply across diagonally. So 140 times X, we write how?
140x.
140x is equal to 4 times 700, which is 2,800, I guess. So if we're trying to figure out how many minutes, we're going to divide both sides by what? Here we divided both sides by 4 because we wanted 1x. So what do we have to divide this by to make it 1? 140. We have to multiply it by itself. I'm sorry, divide it by itself. I misspoke. If we divide it by itself, it becomes 1x, which is what we want. And this would be 20. So it will take Jessie 20 minutes to type the report. Okay, so you just have a few pages to practice these. And then tomorrow you'll have the hour to complete review. And Alex, I will not be here in the afternoon tomorrow. So you will have that review and this packet if you haven't finished it for whatever reason. And Alex. So you should all have plenty to do. You don't need to be yapping or on your phones. All right. So you've got quite a bit of time, like over 20 minutes to be working. Keep working.
So what